It was supposed to be the perfect night, a celebration of everything I had worked for. My birthday, my graduation, the first grandchild on my dad's side to make it to college. And not just any college, Yale. The backyard would be strung with fairy lights, tables laid with white linens. My mom had even ordered my favorite cake, vanilla with raspberry filling. My dad was proud, really proud. And for once, so was I. But then I saw two names on the guest list that turned my stomach. Claire and her son, John. To anyone else, they probably seemed like harmless family friends. Claire had been my dad's best friend since they were kids, practically family. And John? He and I had been playmates since we were in diapers. There are probably a dozen photo albums in my grandma's attic filled with pictures of us at birthday parties and holiday cookouts. But that history, it had a dark undercurrent, one no one else knew about. At first, I tried to let it go. Keep the peace. Don't cause a scene. But deep down, I knew I couldn't celebrate the most important moment of my life with him there. Not after what he'd said to me. Not after how he'd made me feel. It started when I was 17. John began messaging me on Snapchat, not to catch up or joke around like we used to, but to send me things that made my skin crawl. Things no childhood friend should ever say. He wrote that we were meant to be married, that he was supposed to be my first time, that our future was me, barefoot and pregnant in his kitchen. I can't explain the nausea I felt reading those messages. At first, I froze. I didn't respond, but it didn't stop. So I blocked him. That should have been the end of it. But he started texting me instead, demanding to know what my problem was. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want drama. I didn't want to be seen as the troublemaker in this tight-knit family circle. So I did what so many girls are taught to do when a boy makes them uncomfortable. I kept quiet until I couldn't anymore. I broke down to my boyfriend one night. I showed him everything, the screenshots, the sick messages, every line that made me feel like I was just something for John to own. My boyfriend, bless him, told me to save everything, for evidence, just in case. Then he texted John. Nothing illegal, just firm, serious. He told John to stay away from me. Then he blocked his number for me. After that, the messages stopped. But the fear didn't. I didn't tell my parents, not then. I didn't want to disrupt anything. And honestly, I didn't want to have to explain. I just distanced myself from big family events. It was easier to be the moody teen than the girl who started drama. But when I saw John's name on the party list, I knew I couldn't keep quiet any longer. So I told my mom. I waited until it was just the two of us. I showed her the screenshots. Every disgusting message. Her face twisted, not just in shock, but in pain. That look mothers get when they realize their child has been carrying something alone. She was furious. She wanted to go straight to my dad, but I begged her not to. My dad. He's not a bad man. But when it comes to Claire and John, he's blind. They're his people, his chosen family. And John's always been a charmer, good at getting his way. I knew that if I told my dad too soon, there was a chance he might not believe me. Or worse, he'd downplay it. After a long silence, my mom agreed. She said she would tell my dad that Claire and John RSVP'd no, that they weren't coming. That lie. It was supposed to protect me. But lies have a way of unraveling. Even the ones told out of love. About 2 weeks after the invites went out, my dad called Claire. Just a casual check-in. He asked if they were still planning to come, only to hear confusion on the other end of the line. Claire told him they'd never received an invitation. When I got home, my little sister whispered what happened. My dad had confronted my mom, asked her point blank, and she covered for me. She said she didn't want Claire and John there, that she didn't like them, that it was her decision. It wasn't a total lie. My mom has never liked Claire. She's always been rude, dismissive, cold. But it wasn't the truth either. And my dad knew that. They fought, loud enough that even my sister in her room upstairs could hear the anger. I walked in on my mom crying that night, her face buried in her hands. I crawled into bed next to her like I used to when I was small. The guilt crushed me. I never wanted her to carry the weight of my silence. I never wanted her to be the villain in a story that wasn't even hers. It got worse. My grandma and aunt, both of them fiercely loyal to Claire, called my mom jealous. Said she was trying to exclude Claire out of spite. Said she was bitter and controlling. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw my phone at the wall. How could they not see? But how could they, when I hadn't shown them the truth? I realized then, silence doesn't protect people. It isolates them. My mom was alone in a storm meant for someone else, and I was the only one who could set the record straight. So I made a decision. I'm going to tell my dad. I'm going to show him the messages. Every sickening word. I don't know how he'll react. I don't know if it'll break his bond with Claire, or if he'll finally see John for who he really is. But I do know this. The truth matters. And my mom deserves to be believed. I've spent so long trying to manage other people's comfort. Keep the peace. Avoid conflict. But maybe peace built on lies isn't peace at all. So, am I the asshole? Was I wrong to ask my mom to lie for me? To protect me in silence instead of letting me speak? I don't know. But I do know what I'll do next. I'll speak, and I'll speak loud. Because no daughter should ever feel like she has to hide the truth just to be heard. And no mother should ever have to take the fall for something she didn't do. I'm ready now. Ready to be honest. Ready to be free. Even if it means burning a few bridges in the process. Because maybe, just maybe, the people who truly love me will be waiting on the other side of the flames. So again, am I the asshole? Or just a girl finally choosing herself? What a tangled web silence can weave. This story isn't just about a graduation party or a messed up RSVP. It's about what happens when a young woman tries to carry the weight of a violation alone. It's about the cost of protecting other people's feelings at the expense of your own safety. And it's about the mothers who hold that pain with their daughters, even if it breaks them. Let's be clear, John's behavior was predatory, not romantic, not playful, and certainly not harmless. It was calculated, persistent, and deeply inappropriate. But the heartbreak here isn't just in the messages he sent. It's in the ripple effect. A mother blamed, a father misled, a family fractured, all because the truth felt too heavy to hold in the light. And yet, truth has a funny way of surviving, even in the dark. To anyone listening who has ever stayed quiet because speaking up felt dangerous, this is your sign. Your voice matters. Your story matters. And the people who truly love you will want to know the truth, even if it's hard. So what do you think? Was she wrong for asking her mom to lie? Or was she just doing the best she could in a world that teaches girls to stay small? drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you've ever had to choose between keeping the peace and keeping your power, this story is for you. You're not alone. Thanks for listening to AITA Stories. See you in the next one.